What is up, everybody? I got a question. Why do we only see national news? We see very little bit of international news. I ask that because I'm a curious individual and intuitive. I like to learn things, right? I like to know about other cultures and different things, but they keep that from us. You ever wonder why? Oh, it's a security threat. If everybody didn't have hidden agendas, would it be? Right? If everybody was for their country being great and so on and so forth, and all this other good jazz, why would it be a security threat? You think other countries, their dictators or their presidents or whatever, can't see what we're talking about? I bet you they can. And maybe I don't search deep enough, right? And I don't really watch the news at all. I don't support news networks whatsoever. But why is the news always national news? I mean, I get it. It's in our country, right? But also, why is it like 80, maybe 85% negativity? What happens to the culture if you pump 85% negativity into their brains day in and day out? You don't have that productive of you don't have that much of a mentally healthy country, do you? Big pharma. Did I say that? But anyways, it makes you wonder. And I'm curious. I like to think for myself. I like to ramble on and make video content just with different thoughts outside of the narrative. I think it's important. We got to keep that alive. We got to be independent thinkers, right? Although a portion of this country is not. Everything that's on the news is facts, because the experts said so. It's so much. I don't even know how to word it anymore to not sound like an anti-news person, but they've been caught in so many lies and so much fake crap that's to logically think that they're gonna tell us the truth today. No, they're not going to. No, they're not. They strategically are told what to say, when to say it, and how to coordinate it to keep the mass majority right where they want us. I always wondered that. Why is the news always why I get it. Drama sells. And negativity spreads like wildfire, right? Well, so does optimism, and so does positivity, and so does building a community and a culture and a whole nation up. That spreads like wildfire too. So you must ask yourself, why do they not pump that up? If we have all these problems going on in our country, why don't they propagate optimism? Building the communities together. Building they always say we got a strong nation. Do we? Are you kidding me? 85% of negativity? They tax us to death, or they extort us to death, right? Strong nation would stop that. That's robbery. A strong nation would not allow the ones that are getting not held accountable. We wouldn't do that. We would take action. But through the years and years and years and years of propaganda on the news, right? What is it? Project Mockingbird, I think. Started back in 1913 or something like that. My dates might be a little bit off, and that's okay. But it was propagated news, which means they're directing a narrative. They brought that in, and it hasn't went anywhere because nobody's holding people accountable. We just sit back and say, there's nothing we can. I've heard it a million times. I've heard and a million different people say it, and there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, that's exactly what they want us to think with fear mongering and all this other shit, right? You had Joe Biden at one time saying that he's got F-16s he would use against us. Are you freaking kidding me? And we just sit back and take that threat. And this isn't political. It isn't about any one side. As you guys know by now, I used to lean one way for a little while, and now I'm to the point I think they're all in the same club, and we ain't in it, and we ain't never going to be in it. And it doesn't matter how hard you try, you'll never be in it. It just amazes me why they never share news. What they tell us is what they want us to know about a country. It's an evil country. Is it? How do we know that? We have people that have been lying to us for over 100 years telling us that, and we believe it. It's facts. The expert said it's facts. So it's facts, right? I don't know about you all, but I have lost all confidence and all belief in the club up there. You guys tell me what you think in the comments below. You guys tell me your thoughts. And it's okay to call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever. That's fine. I'm okay. I'm mentally stable enough to deal with it. But you guys tell me your thoughts on that matter. Especially the club up there. I want to know your guys' opinions, and I want to know why people are jocking them so bad. They're hanging on to a party they created, the club created, to divide us, the people, so they could stay doing whatever they wanted to do at any given time and take as much money from us as they want. You can't see that happening. It's clear as day, man. There's a big portion of this country that's woke up to that. They have came to their senses. I think you got to get to a certain age where you finally realize, yeah, all that shit I believed back then is a bunch of bullshit. And it's unfortunate, but it takes, it takes some life experiences to actually understand what is going on. The way I thought at 20 is clearly not the way I think today at 44. I grew. I learned. I went through enough trials and tribulations in life where I figured out that what I thought when I was 20 years old isn't actual, and it wasn't factual. That was an inexperienced person in life projecting his emotions on what I believed was right or wrong, right? That's not me saying if you're 20, what you believe in is right or wrong. I'm not saying that. But a lot's changed I think a lot's changed this past 5 years for a lot of people. I think here's my honest analysis on the only cure I think there would be for the people and humanity down here is to cut the grid. And I don't mean literally cut it to the point where you can't, cook your food and stuff like that, right? I'm not saying that because a lot of people would die because they've never had to live off the land or anything like that. I'm talking about eliminate the noise, quiet the noise, shut the networks off, shut the internet off, get out here and start living again and building strong little communities. I think that's the only way to do it. Because you can't, there are so people, most people are arguing with online are bots. There's so many bot accounts I have came across that have been started by the club up here. It's ridiculous. Most of the people that you've ever argued with online are probably bots. They're not people. They're robots. They're little robots that, which is, again, if it was created by Mark Zuckerberg, why isn't he banning that stuff? They can find me out of how many billion people on the internet and ban my video and ban me for 30 days, but they can't determine what a bot is. Crock shit. Lies. Crock shit. It's not true. It's fake. It's kind of like we can strategically, and I think this is great, by the way, for Venezuela. I think it's great. They're so happy. They've been living under a radical dictatorship for multiple decades, and I believe what happened was great, just so you know, before I say this. However, we can strategically plan a force to go over and eradicate the dictatorship and bring them back to the United States. Yeah, we can't look at the corrupt politicians and criminals in this country and lock them up. They're all part of the same club, man. They're all in the same club. Nobody can change my mind on that. You have sitting presidents, vice presidents, people in the House, big, huge people, you know the names, we all know the names, that are not being held accountable. That should, truthfully, some of it's crimes on humanity, injections and shit, like millions of people died from it. Like, there should truthfully be some death penalties, not just sanctions. Not just, oh, lock them up, because lock them up could be a lie too. They can easily play an act where they can put them in handcuffs and make it look like they went to prison and they never did. It happens all the time with any type of politician that ever got locked up. I guarantee it. They didn't actually get locked up. They're all on the same team. Hey, I just seen that Bobcat on Marketplace for sale, and now somebody must have bought it. That's cool. But I don't buy it. Why can't we? What are we waiting on holding our own corrupt politicians accountable for then? We can go clear over to a different country. Spend whatever it took to get over there, which we should have. I believe that was a great move. That was a great move. And it was a great thing for the Venezuelan people. I'm not knocking it at all, and I'm glad that it happened. But what I'm not glad about is they can go do that, yet they will not incarcerate. They can go into another country and take their dictator. But you cannot come into our own country, our own nation, and start locking up, and some of them should get the death penalty for crimes on humanity. The Fauci's, and I could say a bunch of other names, but I don't want them to ban my video, as they probably will. This is all speculative, by the way, I have to say that. Speculative podcast. Speculative out of my head. Which it actually really is, right? I'm not speaking on any facts, right? But I also have seen a lot of things with my own eyes. I have people that are in my family that work in the medical industry that was forced to take something where they lost their job. That's against the law. You can't do that. And they did that. And that same thing is killing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. So, why ain't we locking them up yet? Why ain't we putting them on the White House lawn yet and putting them on pay-per-view? I will pay to watch that shit. You'll make millions of dollars doing that. I'll pay to watch it. So, why? It's the whole club up there. It's all corruption. It's all corruption. On both sides. Both political sides. I don't care what side you lean with. It's both corrupt on both sides. And if you haven't been able to formulate that in your mind yet, then they got you right where they want you. I love you guys. You guys have a rockin' rad day. I'm gonna go wrap this Hemlock account up. We just bought a twin mattress, a king size mattress yesterday, and I bought some covers for it. We're gonna be transporting that today to the new house. That'll be nice. One last thing we gotta move. So you guys have a lovely rockin' ride. Look, man, hey, I don't make these videos to cause any corruption, any hatred between any political parties, any hatred between any people, because I love the people. I just try to bring something I think that maybe a lot of people want to talk about, but they've been silenced, or they don't want to be judged by a family member, a co-worker, a boss, or whatever, right? They don't want to talk about it. It needs to be talked about. These are things that need to be talked about Silence solves nothing. Silence in a relationship, it gives the worst relationship ever. Lack of communication, there is no relationship. What are they doing to the people? They're keeping them all silent. They're forcing them what the experts say are the facts. These are the facts. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. You shut up, you misogynist, you racist. Conspiracy theorist, you shut up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And they'll spend billions of dollars to advertise that on these local news networks. That everybody's a conspiracy theorist, a misogynist, a racist, a bigot, Hitler, the Antichrist. You can't see what they're doing? They're violating our First Amendment times a billion on the internet. There is no more First Amendment. I can't make this video on YouTube. I can't make this video on Facebook right now. Although it's speculative, I'm saying that loud and clear so you know. I can't post this video on Facebook. It goes against their community guidelines, which means to tell me they are silencing our First Amendment right. We're being slowly introduced to communism. It's already happening in New York right now. They made it a fancy word, socialism. We're going to be it's communism. Communism has never worked in any of the countries that's ever tried it. It's never worked. It's never worked. It only causes one thing: mass genocide. That's all it causes. What it causes, man. So they're violating our First Amendment. They keep coming out and creating things speculatively that bring up we need better gun laws. We need to come take your guns. Second Amendment, trying to take that too. You can't see clear as day. They've been trying to do this for the past 25, 30 years. It's been unfolding right before our very eyes. So my question is when are we going to stop allowing the club to divide us as Republican or Democrat? All you're doing is worshiping the devil up there, the cult, the true Antichrist up there, the club you will never be a part of, even though you are representing them, you are leaning with them, they hate you. That club up there hates all of you and me. They can't stand it. We're in their way. We're in their way to stop their agenda. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it's a lost cause. Well, I'll continue to make content to make people think and to breed unity in this country, man. We need unification. And when I say unified, you guys, look, man, the whole nation is never going to unify. There's going to be too many people that are brainwashed to the max, and they're not going to come together collectively. And that's fine and dandy. We don't need everybody. We don't need everybody. Wow. We don't need everybody. Shit, 100 million of us is enough. Anyways, I love you guys all. You guys have a rockin' rad day.